Media bias is probably an argument that'll never go away. We put out a podcast not long ago about how people choose to believe what we believe, about everything from the risk of global warming to whether we've ever been visited by UFOs. Now, it turns out that a lot of us unknowingly bend our beliefs to fit our political or social or family circles. We carry around all sorts of personal biases that we simply don't see. The best description I've ever heard of this comes from Danny Kahneman, the Nobel-winning psychologist and author of Thinking Fast and Slow. He calls it being blind to our blindness.
Well, there's a lot of psychological research that points in that general direction. We think other people are biased, and we don't feel that we're biased. We feel that our opinions are right because our intuitions tend to land on one coherent interpretation of the world, and that looks almost like a sure thing. And so we tend to be overconfident in whatever we believe. That's generally true. And, we find it much easier to find the errors in other people.
So we'll continue to point fingers at the other side while declaring ourselves blameless. That seems to be the nature of the human beast. But more troubling, at least to me, is that we seem to like it like that. One reason we love to argue about something like media bias is that after all these millennia, we still thrive on tribalism. We still love to divide ourselves into us and them, left and right, liberal and conservative, whatever you want to call it. We find the tribe where we fit in and we rush over to join and rally round its flag and immediately start tossing grenades at the idiots who are flying the other flag. Now, personally, I find this instinct a little bizarre. This instinct to herd ourselves into one of two major groups. Why should we want to define ourselves as right or left? If I'm a hardcore environmentalist, that means I have to want higher taxes too? If I'm pro-death penalty, I can't also be pro-choice? We love to complain about partisanship in Washington and in the media, but could it be that we get the partisanship we want, the partisanship we deserve? Here's my advice. If you want an enemy to root against, watch more sports. That's what sport is good for. It's a proxy for war, for violence, for tribalism. And then, when the game's over, and when you're ready for some nuance, come back to the real world. And only then, if you think you're calm enough to handle it, pick up a newspaper.
Freakonomics Radio is produced by